What's going on, y'all? I wanted to jump on while I was en route to my destination to kind of expound on my comment regarding with friends like B Simone, who needs enemies. I'm the youngest of five females, and one thing that I have always had was discernment and the ability to read people, to observe them, feel their energy, etc., etc. And my discernment ain't never lacked me. And after the death of Jacky, one of the things that I immediately observed was during a live that B Simone did a couple days ago on TikTok, which I wasn't familiar with. I heard her name before, but I wasn't familiar with her until after Jacky O's death. So I looked her up, and she went live on TikTok trying to survey her followers to see how many of them were also on Instagram. Bottom line, her main focus was getting people, wanting to get people to sign up for her $9.99 close friends membership on Instagram. And I watched Joe Buddha, Budden, something like that, podcast he did with a group of people today, talking about how foul B Simone was with trying to capitalize off of Jacky's death and increasing her subscription count. When I watched the live, I'm a grown woman. I've managed people previously, thank you Lord, for 20 years in corporate America. And one of the skills that you have to be an effective leader is to know and be able to read people. And I was damn good at what I did. Not boastful, because it ain't an easy job and it ain't a job I recommend to people. It's high stress. But I was good at what I did, and I know people mourn and deal with stress, anxiety, depression, all those things differently. None of us are the same, and I am fully aware and acknowledge that. But she came off almost jovial. Not that you got to be hollering and screaming and just depressed and sulking and things of that nature, but I feel absolutely no sense of sadness in her. Her focus was her paper, and I ain't knocking a businesswoman, but the context in which she set it up, I just cannot respect, because she had made a post, I think it was on Instagram, that really generated all of this backlash and internet attention and a lot of side eyes, was because she said, if you won't be privileged to her life at this time, if you're not a part of her close friends audience and platform, which is $9.99 a month. I don't know about y'all, but I read through lines, and I have been around women my whole life, being the youngest of 5 women and having cousins, a lot of girlfriends growing up. One thing I know is a woman. Second thing I know is how to read people, and just ain't nothing good there. And I ain't knocking the young lady. She in her 30s. You start to become a little more seasoned in your 30s. You're just starting to get the little sauce. But she got more growing to do. And I'm prayerful that as she grow with experience, age, and time, that she'll evolve into a better woman, a better friend. But that leads to this point. Everybody isn't your friend, and I know we all understand this, but you got to check your circle and understand that people that you've been friends with for years, some of them don't like you. Some of them are chameleons and are there for a reason, and it ain't because of you. It's a hard truth, one that I had to deal with and go through. Friends for years that I no longer talk to, and I'm not talking about like these little punk like them 5 or less or 10 years. Talking about 30, 20 and above. And it's not that you necessarily aren't friends with these people. People hold on to relationships that just no longer serve them well. You know, at certain points in your life, it could be beneficial and what you need in nurturing. But there does come a time to where certain things, situation, and people we do outgrow and we transition. And it's not that you got to become somebody's enemy or, you know, it becomes a sour or a negative experience. It's just that we no longer are doing the same things or wanting or headed in the same direction, and that's okay. You can bid people farewell respectfully and lovingly. But some people you just need to do the cutoff quickly. And that also goes back to self-love. See, so many people say, oh, I love me. But the truth of the matter is, I would say more people than not don't. Because so many people have not truly seen what self-love is. We're not born with it. It's an intentional, learned behavior that becomes a discipline. It's knowledge. It's wisdom. And just because you say you love yourself don't mean you do. And I'm here to tell you, I went through it. I know about it. In order for me to get to that place of understanding and loving myself, with nobody else around. And it wasn't easy. It doesn't feel good. It ain't always pretty. But once you reap the rewards, you start to understand and appreciate what you went through, and you evolve into a better person, a stronger, more knowledgeable one. And that's why I reach out, because I look out on these platforms and there's so much negativity. You know, you got people trolling and people hollering every day, and they ain't got nothing good to say. That ain't got nothing to do with you. A lot of people don't love themselves and are miserable and need to get well. See, when God gave me Let's Get Real and Heal, that was a gift not only for me, but for the world. Started in July 2019 is when God gave that to me, and it's been a journey. But I made a commitment that I was going to speak up and speak out, and I'm going to do and continue to do what God told me to. So everybody in your circle ain't your friend. And if you get quiet sometimes and just be observant and listen, sometimes you can see and hear all you need without saying a word. Some folks need to learn how to be quiet and just look and listen. If you haven't, I appreciate it if you follow me. You know, there's a lot of people out here that ain't talking about nothing, and some might think neither am I, but I have a genuine purpose and mission and desire to be an advocate for the mental health and awareness and knowledge for African American community. And not only educate, but reach out in communities and try to do something to help us get well and live our best lives. Because that's when you're really living. That's when you're really around genuine, true friends. When you're all mentally healthy. And you're all wanting the best, not only for yourself, but everyone else. Let's get real and heal, y'all. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I sure appreciate it. We'll talk again. Blessings.